M4.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. I also want to thank Mr. Veritas for making this bomb-ass beat and giving us permission to use it in the podcast. Thank you so much, sir. Joining us tonight is a very special guest, close friend of mine, just an amazing guy. That's right. You know him, you love him. It's Beardzyyy. We've got Beardzyyy on the panel tonight, and we've got a couple of his clips to review. This is going to be so much fun. I'm excited to get in with the guys and get this started. Look at this beautiful man. Here we go. Now, Beardzyyy, thank you so much for joining us tonight, brother.
What's up?
What is up? So typically how we kick off the podcast is we go around the table and we just kind of introduce ourselves, talk about how much experience you have in Tarkov,
Okay.
and, you know, maybe even where they can find you. It's important. And then, yeah, we'll go around the table and then we're going to dive into the first video. I'm grateful that you donated 3 videos for us to review tonight. And I'm very excited to kind of break these down with you, get your afterthoughts, and maybe people from the group here can maybe add to it as well, or, you know, just agree with you, because I mean your experience speaks for itself. So if you can kick it off, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
All right. What's up, everyone? I'm Beardzyyy. Mainly introduce myself by saying I play a lot of Tarkov. I've got around 5,700 hours right now on my main account and a couple hundred on my standard. So I've put a lot of time into the game. Just can't go to another shooter without feeling like it's missing things that Tarkov gets right. So yeah, I've been sticking around for a while. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Beardzyyy with 3 Ys. And yeah.
Good stuff. We're glad to have you, Beardzyyy. Farmer, you want to say hello?
Hello. Hi. I'm Farmer Dylon. We've done the introductions, but I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And Tarkov gamer. I play a couple other things, but that's basically what I do with my life on stream. So yeah.
There you go.
All right, I'm Converts. Play a lot of Tarkov as of late for sure. We've already done like Farmer said, we've done our introductions, and now we got a special guest. So can't wait to see and hear his inputs with his experience.
All right, we're gonna jump into the first video, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at it here. Now, Beardzyyy, this is the first video clip you sent me. Do you want to give any kind of a preface to what was going on before this incident?
So yeah, actually I wrapped around this clip starts a lot sooner, but I don't think it would be in the 60-second range. There's a guy that I saw in here by the forklift, and I knew if I ran in from the direction that I was pushing, which was by the kind of the back hallway that they added with the factory expansion, he would just absolutely obliterate me because he had a right hand peek and just would take me out real quick. So with this, I was wrapping around. I ran around through the expansion and I pushed over to here to try and get him. And that's kind of where the clip starts.
All right, let's dive in, guys. Let me know if you guys are having any issues hearing the clip. First one can always be a little wonky. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
All right. So there's a couple things I did wrong there. First of all, I ran the wrong way, which is the biggest thing. I should have run back up the stairs. It would have been much safer. I would have had time to reload, separated me from him a little bit. Second of all, instead of spamming like I did with loading those two shots, I should have slowed down a bit, taken it a little bit slow, and placed my shot, because I hit him with one of them, but you can see the second one go high and to the right because I didn't manage my recoil. I was just trying to get him dead because I was almost dead, and panic set in.
I think
so
we've
those
all
are some
felt
of
that.
my thoughts.
I think we've all felt that panic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know for sure that I have.
It's part of Tarkov. I think we all get those panic moments where we just forget how we play the game and we just resort to, if I click enough, they're gonna die.
Exactly.
And when you click a lot and they don't die, we're left wondering why they didn't die.
Yep, exactly.
So when you went in that door, were you expecting him to be on the same level that you're at? You weren't expecting him to be down below?
Yes.
Okay. That was
I didn't know until I heard him. You can hear him as I'm running in. I don't know if it was loading a mag or if it was clicking of a laser flashlight, but you can hear him do something when I run through the door, which made me realize he was below me.
Okay. Dude, I completely agree with the assessment that you'd given. First of all, you went down those stairs not expecting some guy to be under the stairs. Maybe down the long hallway, if that, right? But
I actually did expect him to be down there.
You did? Okay. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't have, even with the click.
I heard the click and I heard where it was, and I was like, that's directly below me. He's in the corner by the extract.
Okay. And so when you ran out of bullets in your shotgun, you're saying instead of trying to run away from him down that long hallway where now I'm a fish in a barrel.
Yep.
Go back up the stairs because now he has to chase you.
Yes, exactly. He has to chase me. I put some separation between myself where I can reload and possibly pop a hemostat, stop the heavy bleed, pop a ETG, something along those lines to get my health start going back up so that I can stay in the fight instead of just going for the fish in the barrel down the hallway where he got the hide and reload, and when he was done, he got to just unload on me.
That's actually something really important too that you mentioned about using the ETG to stay in the fight. Because one of the things that I find interesting about the ETG is you pop that stim, and for every non-blacked out limb, it's rapidly rehealing without you having to actively wrap and do like an IFAK or something. You're able to then stay in the fight while healing at the exact same time, and get right back on your target there. I'm gonna play this again, just half speed. Just to kind of watch it over, maybe see something else, but it seems pretty cut and dry. So you got one body there.
Oh, it was the key. It sounded like the key.
Yep.
Now there's where I should have turned the other way, gone up the stairs. I had a heavy bleed and a break. I wasn't too fucked up. if you look at my health. And I could have gone up the stairs, put some separation between myself, popped that hemostat, stopped the heavy bleed. Probably at this point I wouldn't even need the ETG, I'd just need a Propital.
Yep, because you're not nearly. I mean, you've got a black limb, but the ETG is not going to help the black limb.
Right. So
at this exact point, instead of going to the left, if you would have gone right, it would have given you some distance and time to stay in that fight.
Yep.
Also, I want to mention, had it been a different gun as well. I know you're working with a shotgun. Had it been something like, I don't know, a mutant, for instance, or that he would have gotten melted right there because of that close range point fire. That's just my thought on it here. Anybody else have anything they want to add or talk about? I know Verts, do you see up there in the top corner, right? You see what I see?
He's a med enjoyer. I like it. I like it.
Almost every clip that we've looked at that the person hasn't been pre-medded, that's the first thing that Converts points out. He's like, when you were getting shot, you couldn't run.
Oh God.
But
I have
is he
a
wrong?
PK problem.
But is he wrong?
I have ibuprofen on almost muscle memory for how long it is until I have to pop another one. It's so I'm almost always pre-medded. I do my best to stay pre-medded because I've lost so much from not.
It seems like it's a much bigger hit on metabolism now, is it not?
I mean,
Yeah.
my
It cranked it up last
metabolism's
wipe, I
back.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I've been popping Golden
it does.
Stars. It's brutal.
Golden
Well,
Stars will actually help you level up your metabolism really quickly, though, because they do give you a boost of energy and hydration after they drain it. So it gives you some leveling towards metabolism every time you take it. It's also a really great thing if you're out of energy and you have a Golden Star, pop it. It will allow you to regain stamina again and move forward for a little bit. It sucks that you're wasting a Golden Star, but it's better than dying to no energy.
Yeah, good tip.
There you go.
One I do want to point out too, Beardzyyy is kind of a Chadley. Just for the people that are maybe in this situation and they don't always, they're not always popping PKs. I know we always say like pop a PK, pop a PK, pop a PK. But if you're not at that point or you're not that religious about it, Propital just got its pain relief back. So if you keep a Propital in your butt or wherever, he could have popped that as well and at least been, healing and had some pain med there. On top of taking the stairs instead of going down the hallway, but
yeah. I think we all agree on the stair. All right, guys. Well, you know what? I think we covered this first video pretty nicely. Obviously it sucks to get down there and have to fight down there, especially with limited ammunition. The shotgun just, sometimes it's on point, sometimes it's not. But still, it's a really good clip.
It's frustrating because if you can see the shots kind of bounce an outline around him.
Yep.
And it's one of the, it's the giant RNG recoil thing everyone's screeching about. It's in action. It's just kind of just boop, 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 boop.
Yep. I left. Missed both of his legs there. A little bit left, a little bit right. Yeah.
Looks like you hit him right dab smack in the head, though. Look at the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
He was gurgling. He was gurgling.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the only thing, like, my first instinct, I saw you turn left, and I was like,
Oh, yeah, no.
Back up them fucking stairs.
That's part of why I included this, because it was that split-second decision that we all make. We all make those mistakes in those split seconds. But yeah, I absolutely should have gone back up the stairs. The amount of separation from him that I would have had would have absolutely changed the dynamic of that fight.
Definitely.
It's also a lot harder to push up those stairs if you know somebody's holding the angle.
Yeah.
It's virtually impossible because your head's going up the stairs first and now you're just an open target. But all right, guys, let's get set up for the second clip here. Give me just a second. I'm getting it all set up while we talk. But So now this next clip, you've got a much better gun. Beardzyyy.
Yeah.
A much better gun. And go ahead.
Sorry. I died a desync, but there's stuff that could have changed that I could have done differently that probably would have still changed the outcome of the fight. So
we got a desync clip. Okay.
Yep. But I don't blame. It was frustrating to die, but I don't blame the death too much on desync because there were a lot of mistakes I made leading up to that death.
Just got to make sure the tab's not muted. All right, let's take a look at this clip, shall we?
Oh my!
Oh no!
Oh man, that
So-
was freaking sweet of him.
Yeah.
These are supposed to be bad clips, Chad. I mean,
I'm sorry.
you're wiping
really?
If you don't like
third.
that one, you're gonna
Don't
hate
have
the
any
next
of
one. I'm
those.
just gonna say. What I forgot to do there was at the end you can see I fired maybe 4 or 5 shots and my gun ran out of ammo.
Forgot to reload.
I needed to reload in between that second and third kill. I needed to back off because if you look, I got shot not much by the first guy. The second guy that was, that ended up killing me, he tagged me when I walked by. But then the third guy hit me a decent amount before I dropped him. So
Let's take a look at that.
there's a
again.
lot of different things I could have done leading up to this.
Let's take a look at that again, and we'll try to stop at the point that you would think that maybe reloading would be like, this is where I would have reloaded. But honestly, that first guy got melted right off the bat. Like, you almost feel bad for him. And I'm surprised you didn't push the guy in the room first and then make the guy outside push you.
Same thing I thought, but that was a brilliant play.
The reason I didn't was because I didn't want to run in on that guy. Running into that room, my gun could have gotten caught on a lot of things.
I'm thinking about that. That's amazing. Yeah.
long gun syndrome. Yeah.
Long guns in rooms don't necessarily make for a great push.
And
wanted
clearly,
to
you
have
heard that
him-
guy out there, right?
Yeah, I did. If you
Yeah.
run it back, he shoots at me from outside as well when the first guy shoots. So I knew he was out there.
Gotcha. I missed that.
Yeah.
We're gonna run it back again right now. Let's watch this again.
See, he shot.
Yeah, I heard the window.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Wow,
I
I
wanted to
totally
pause it
missed
right
that.
there. When you so I didn't pick up on that the first time going through, and I guarantee you, if I was the one at the keyboard and mouse at this case, I would never have picked up on the fact that somebody
Me neither.
broke glass behind me. You got that input, and you were like, "There's somebody shooting at me from outside."
Yeah.
See that right there?
I
That is map knowledge and player skill right there, guys. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. These are things that would be completely above my purview while I'm playing this. I never would have even thought of that. All right, let's keep up with this.
You
here.
can actually hear his gun go off. It's a different sound than the first dude's because the first dude has a loud RPK.
Let's go back to it.
Yeah, walk it back a little further.
Yep, totally different gun
little bit
sound.
You heard it. Totally different gun. Suppressed, not the RPK we heard at first.
Yeah, it's like a PP-19 or something.
Yep.
Yep. Something in the AK type family.
Yep, yep.
PP-19's in there.
That guy looked naked with a shotgun, isn't he? Oh no.
Yep.
No, he's got a
Oh
rig.
my god, really? Yeah, no, he was definitely the one they were carrying through resort.
Was it a
But,
KS or was that a normal shotgun?
It was a normal shotgun. It wasn't a
Okay.
chaos.
Oh wow. So I was just about to say that this was a wonderful play on your part, Beardzyyy. Minus the reload, but then like that just blew my mind even more because you guys have been talking about the glass break, and that's already like putting you into okay, like there's this third person. Once the shotgun guy shoots, you're like, oh well, there's a third then.
Yeah,
You know,
I already
and
knew there was a third. Well, I actually heard him on wood still as I was pushing the first dude because I'd still heard wood, but he was pushed too far out to have made the sounds that I heard at first. So I knew there was a second guy in there. And I mean, this is stuff that I've just picked up after pouring hours and hours and hours into the game.
So I want to point something out that one I've been trying to work on myself, and that I think a lot of Tarkov players lean to, and that is like leaning on point fire rather than ADSing. Like watching this back, I'm wondering if you had taken the time to ADS on that second guy.
Oh, I would have been dead.
Well, you would have been like, less ammo spent to use on the third guy. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Hold on.
Wasn't there?
I know what you
Wasn't there a reload though? Like on when he pushes and hits the wall, sees the second guy. Isn't there a reload right there?
Yeah,
watch
but
it.
if you watch how much ammo he dumps into the second guy.
Part of it was because I didn't have a laser on here. I just had the flashlight.
Yeah,
I think if I had the laser, my point fire would have been more on point. But yeah, here my thorax is fucked up. They don't look that bad, but and so I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I'm all right. But in all honesty, your thorax, your head, and your stomach are the most important things to keep full. So you don't lose extra, your stomach, so you don't lose extra hydration and food and energy, and your thorax and your head because you can't put them back on. So I should have taken that knowing that I was running 30 rounders and not 60s. However, part of the reason I think I did push him is because a lot of my muscle memory is with 60s. So I was thinking I had a little bit more ammo, pushed him. What I should have done here was go to the left, knowing that there was a dude there, reload, run up the stairs a little bit, reload, heal, run back down, take him on.
Now, do you think you lose before pushing that second guy? Do you think you lose that battle right there, even if you don't push into that room and you just peek fire that guy with the shotgun in that room?
No, I think I could have won that battle. With me not being too damaged, if I had just peek fired him, I think I would have won. Instead, I swung wide.
Right.
And relied on having enough ammo to be able to let the recoil settle and find a set.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense.
Just curious.
I'm looking at this still frame here, and from my angle, what I'm seeing is blood on the wall behind him at head level.
Oh, I hit him. Yeah,
you hit him. He has no armor on. He's got a bank robber.
No, I hit him in the thorax. It had to have been the thorax. It couldn't have been the head, but I mean, if I hit him in the head, he must have had like 1 HP or something like that in it.
I mean, had to have. Or it's one of those cases. I've seen cases where you're shooting people, and they're not at the same location that you're shooting at.
Right.
Because of desync. So it looks like you're hitting them, but they're actually unharmed. And
yes,
that's very possible. In this case, he might have been a foot to the left, and we just don't see that in the clip because we're only seeing the one side. And like you said,
right.
you kind of died to desync here because you did move to the left.
I moved.
You were getting out of the way. But he was still able to get that shot off on you.
Right. I mean, that could have been a completely non-desyncy death. At the time, it felt a little desyncy because it's hard to tell there, but for me, it really felt like I got around that corner. That being said, I've had many deaths that's happened to me. I'm sure I will have many more that happens to me on.
Right.
But there was definitely some things here that at the time when you invited me on the podcast, this is immediately a clip I thought of because I looked back on it and was like, I took the shot to the thorax. I should not have, I should have taken the time and healed, reloaded. I could, an alternate is I could have done a fast reload as well.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, I think that we've talked about it in the first two podcasts of, maybe just a little bit of pause, right? Like you took the pause after the first kill and you took your reload. And I don't think you necessarily had time to get a full heal in, but then on that second one where you killed the other Chad that was there, I think you could have definitely afforded yourself a pause to reload, heal. I don't think that guy would have necessarily even pushed you.
Yeah.
You could have just chilled in there and held an angle, and then you would have been ready to rock and roll after a pause.
Right. You're absolutely right. Between the first and second kill, I don't think I had that time to pause and heal. But between the second and third, me knowing and kind of looking in and seeing that he wasn't geared, I should have said, okay, let me play this safe. Let me go heal up, reload, and
let him piss his pants in that room for a second, because his two thick boy friends, his buddies that came in were like, don't worry, man, we got you. They just got sent back to the lobby, and that guy is like, oh fuck. You know how I know he's like that? Because I've been that little Timmy in that room before, going, oh fuck. And so yeah, it does. That ending there sucks, but I do have to point out one thing here too. I just noticed this player has a very hard right-hand peek on you.
Oh yeah.
And if his shots could have been on point as you were right, I mean, you're in the middle. There's no cover here for you whatsoever. If his shots were on point at this point, you never would have made it up there to him.
No.
That's it's crazy to think about.
For some reason, there's certain time I always push this. I don't know why. I know it's a right-hand peek. I always push it, and I swear to God, it's like the only left-hand peek I win. But this area on Shoreline, I've gotten good at audio cues and figuring out when they're gonna peek because I can hear it clearly on the ground when they're coming back.
Right.
You can hear them stop and change directions for a second, and then they come back. If he had held the peak, part of the reason I started spraying here is because I didn't want him to hold the peak. I wanted him to shit his pants, back off, overextend, which he did. And then
it gave you an opening to be able to close the gap
right.
and get up close and point fire him down.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So
and it was pulled up
half of this mag is mainly just meant to get him to retreat. It's not about the accuracy. It's not about hitting his shots. If I hit him in the head and he goes over, I waste less bullets. Great. Sweet. It's funny. It's a better clip. But
right.
If not, it creates that opportunity. And a lot of you've got to using bullets and nades and things like that. Definitely great for creating space.
So at this point, you're taking out the guy that's outside the door here. And if it was me in this in this situation, yeah, I think you push forward, you make a right, you go up the stairs, maybe half a landing, a full landing up. You fix your chest, you reload your mags, you make sure everything's good. Homeboy, you're gonna hear him. You're gonna hear that guy down below on wood if he's moving, for sure. And so if he comes out of that room, he's going to go running, if he's going to try to push you on the stairs. But it allows you to have that distance again, create space to be able to kind of get everything back together and running again. So another really cool clip here. And there's a lot of key points here that we're also learning. Like, for instance, in that hallway, if you've got somebody holding that right-hand peak, the best thing to do is to send some fire at him, make him back off so you can close that distance. It gets him out, anything you can do to get him off of that corner. Yeah, anything at that point would be good.
Because what it does is it allows for, basically they get off balance. It pushes them off balance, gets them out of their comfort zone. They're not going to still be holding that angle unless they're crazy or just really, really confident that you're going to miss.
Right.
And creating that space, creating those opportunities where you push someone off balance is where they make mistakes. Forcing people to make mistakes or to overextend or something because they couldn't quite get exactly comfortable to where they wanted to be is huge for winning fights.
Exactly. All right, we're gonna load up the third clip number 3 here. Looks like it's on looks like Woods. This now you said this just happened?
Yeah, this literally happened right before I raided you. It was my last PMC raid.
Okay, all right. Let's see how you ended your stream, but
I did a scav after that, but
you did a scav afterwards?
Yeah, just to make some money. Because this M4 is so fucking stupid.
How much did it cost you? Do you know?
I don't know. Too much.
Too much.
Tried for like 250.
And you died with it.
Yeah, but my buddy ditched it, so it's fine.
Okay.
That's meta, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that
It is
is
meta.
1,000%. That is a 19 vertical recoil M4.
19 vertical recoil. You said, "Hey man, after the podcast, send me that build, please."
Yeah,
Hook me
I
up.
got you.
All
I
right,
got you.
guys, let's take a look at this third clip here. It looks like we are definitely on Woods. Beardzy's up on top of the rock by the USEC camp. Just to his left, there's that little sleep roll bag, and there I think there's a gun spawn up there.
There's a gold loot spawn next to the sleeping bag. Under the crevice, if you lay down on the sleeping bag, if you ever see something there and you're like, oh, I can't reach it, lay down, use the free look to look to your left, you'll be able to grab it.
You'll be able to grab it. All right, let's take a look at this clip here.
Shooterborn, man.
Can't get shooterborns on your friends. By the way, hold on. You're not up here, right?
Nope.
There's no move on that. Is that you that just ran past me?
It's like a laser.
One is.
Yeah, I'm running up right now. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I'm dead. I got 2. That thing had no recoil.
There was no recoil on that.
No, there's really not.
Okay,
It's
yeah,
disgusting.
yeah, definitely hook me up. Send me that build.
Yeah, I'll
Beardsy.
send you the build.
All right, so right off the rip, I noticed that you had the advantage being up high, but you dropped down.
I didn't see them before I dropped down.
Okay, so you didn't hear them or anything before you dropped down. You didn't know they were in the camp.
No.
If you knew, would you have stayed up top and try to get them from above, or would you still have
Pick a
dropped down?
couple of them off. I would probably try to pick at least one off from the top, and then I would push down and do exactly what I did.
Okay. First guy clearly gets melted.
By the way, hold on. You're not up here, right?
So you saw the guy and you confirmed with your teammate that's not your teammate.
Yep.
Okay.
I do a second confirmation as well, though.
Nope.
Because I hear that dude run past me to my left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because as soon as you find out for sure that that's not your teammate, you know you've got an enemy really close.
Yeah, but I ask again here. I was like, you didn't just run past me, right? Is that you that just ran past me?
No.
I also knew his clothing wasn't that, so.
And he was shooting at you, which is typically a sign.
Yeah, that's fair. That's another reason.
One way or another, it was justified.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So epic as hell right here. This gun is a laser beam, which goes to show
I
you.
literally was walking on the second kill.
You were just kind of walking up Rambo style. Scarface final scene. He's got the grenade launcher and he's just spraying it. That was Beardsy right there. But then that last guy, you didn't see him, did you? With the shotgun until he was already shooting you?
Right. Yeah, I'm fine. But if you look here, I could have easily just waited. This was me overextending, wanting to wipe people down.
You were going for blood.
That's that
Yes,
ego
I was out for
push.
blood.
Going for that 3-piece.
I was ego pushing.
Play it for the clip, you know.
Exactly. I mean, it's still not a bad clip, but it shows how disgusting this gun is. But with this second kill, I should have probably just said they're shitting their pants. Let me take a second. Again, pop a hemostat, because for some reason, it's always that arm, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty
Needs
sure
to be that way.
I've seen that arm a couple times.
What I want to point out too that I think we found your kryptonite, Beardsyyy. It's always a 3-man, and it's always the last guy with a shotgun.
Oh God, you're right. And it's always it's always with an M4 too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
that's a pretty good kryptonite, though.
Yeah, I mean, shotguns are kryptonite. Shotguns. The dude that killed me had a shotgun and a Mosin, so both are kryptonite for just. Yeah, I know, right?
Dangerous man on the map.
Man came to fuck.
So
my buddy got him with his pistol, got a stirrup kill, and then ditched my shit.
So it looks like at this point, you're right. Your left arm is blacked, and that happened back in the fight right here.
First fight, yep.
The first, well,
actually, no, it might have happened before.
Let's go back and we'll find out when we'll go back and see when the arm was still green. Oh, it's black there. Okay, arm's green here.
Yeah. So when I kill that dude, he wings me.
I'm gonna slow it down.
Pass me?
No.
This guy.
Oh.
This guy got
I wasn't
you.
even pointing at you.
Yeah, a little decent. On the weapon, just on the weapon folding. I'm not too mad about that because that's something that, like, oh, it was a little bit slow on the come up. That happens, I'm sure. But one down.
Yeah, I'm running up right
Sorry,
now.
the death sound in slow-mo.
Yeah.
So here I hit the roof of the car.
Yep, right in
there.
here.
Right there.
Okay.
Which is why I didn't re-peek it, because I couldn't get up high enough to hold a right-hand peek there.
Yeah, if the roof of the car had stopped you, that probably would have been a headshot there. If not, a dead guy. But I want to get to where you're looking at the. So you can't really see the guy along the side of the tent, behind the tent.
He was behind the tent at this point.
Yeah, he's hiding back there waiting.
I only saw two at first. I didn't notice the third. But yeah.
Now he's
there
peeking.
He's right there.
He's right there. He's peeking at you now. You're killing his friend. At that point, you know, he's what do you call
It's
it?
either him or me.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, all right, well, my buddies, because I'm sure both of them probably said, even though the first one was really the only one that hit me, both of them probably said, I fucked him up.
I mean, you were slightly fucked up. All right.
No, like the first one definitely fucked me up.
And once again, talking about your chest being super important to keep that health up. Your chest was red. It wasn't like completely gone, but you were getting there. And so a couple hits and you would have been done from where your chest is right there.
Definitely would have been good for me to back off ETG or pop a Propital and adrenaline, something along those lines. And now here he is.
Ooh.
And you're running towards him.
Gone. Yep, both my legs are gone, and I'm running towards him as I try to pull my gun up.
Back up.
Because I didn't notice him at that point.
One shot, both legs gone. Now you have a heavy bleed, and your chest is almost black.
Yep.
So right then and there,
which is why you see me pull up my gun as quickly as I can.
You're on borrowed time.
Right.
I was on borrowed time, and it was either I'm gonna kill this dude and I'm gonna hit a hip fire shot. I needed my gun up. Needed to have my gun up. me stutter stepping there and not seeing him in the back was a mistake. Because if I had my gun up, who knows? Could have been different. I could have still gotten fucked up, but I could have had 3 kills, and this would be a different clip, and we wouldn't be talking about it.
Right, we would be watching it on EFT, WTF.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys aren't following them on YouTube. I strongly suggest you look them up and give them a subscribe.
Yeah,
we love Eddie.
Definitely great.
But
definitely great videos.
I want to point out a couple things, and I'm going to put this as nicely as I possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to point out that even if you're running the meta guns and the meta kits, we still die all the time with those kits. We still die to a naked man with a shotgun or a Mosin all the time. So the meta guns and the meta kits are great. You walked through 2 men, but that kind of I'm not going to say it's like an ego push, but that momentum,
it was an ego push.
That momentum put you to where, because there's a point here where your legs are black, but you're still moving forward on this guy. And
I didn't notice that my legs were black at this point.
Right.
I literally just noticed that I was really fucked up, and I knew I had a couple, like a second maybe, and I had to pop shots to do anything because there wasn't me getting out of that. There wasn't me going to the left at this point. It was too much of a direct, he's on me.
Right.
He's got me in his sights. My only option was to shoot at that point.
Yeah, and
like I said earlier, that earlier point where I had the first one would have been a good point to say, all right, I have some cover. I can take a pause, use this point to make sure that I can continue this momentum in the fight. What were you going to say, Heck?
I was just going to say, like, if I had $1 for every time I died, like, right after starting a sprint, and, like, the guy peeks knowing I'm mid-sprint, like, it's that weird kind of, like, rock, paper, scissors where you both want to advance, but you don't want to get caught out sprinting, so you're both kind of just, like, hopping back and forth.
Yeah, it's like the scavs that run back and forth and, like, do the scav stops all the time. You're just kind of like, I don't want to go. You going? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just like you said, the amount of times that I've died from just having that, you hit this, you start your sprint just too soon, and you're like, shit, if I had waited a second longer.
Yeah, and that's actually a skill that I've heard, like, really high level players. Like, I was watching a video like Jesse Kazam did a while back about when he fought Landmark, and how, like, Landmark specifically makes sure that he's not, like, caught sprinting. Like, he'll sprint in very short increments so that he's always, like, at the ready and he doesn't get caught out, like, mid W key.
It's like a sprint step.
Yeah,
he'll sprint for just a couple steps, and he's off, and then he's off of it. And I think that's just game knowledge there as well. That's one of those things you learn while you're playing, but it's good to instill and to practice and to use, because it's gonna win you fights for sure. All right. Does anybody have anything else we want to add to this? I noticed that there's PKs active.
One thing I wanted to so. Was there, like, no audio? Because I feel like he should have heard, like, known those guys were up there. Like, he didn't hear nothing from that higher level or something. Like, there's a inclusion issue going on there.
I don't think it was an inclusion issue. I think they were all looting at the time.
But I feel
ran
like they're so close, you would hear them. Oh, yeah. It just seems like you should hear them at that distance. I don't know.
Let's listen and see if we can hear any audio cues.
You're gonna hear my legs crunch. That's about it.
You're born, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I did hear him as I was dropping down, and I think that was the point where I noticed. Can't get shooterborns on your friends. By the way, hold on.
Yeah, you heard him because you're like, by the way, hold on.
Yeah. So that was the first bit that you heard him. You didn't hear him, like, when you're up on that rock.
I think.
First got there. Wow.
Like I said, I went up to the rock and I got down off the rock fairly quickly.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't really use it for an advantage or anything. I was just going up there because there's an M4.
You're just moving. Gotcha.
Well, I
You're
was just
looting,
going up there to
scooting.
loot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looting and scooting. Got you. Okay.
Well,
So-
remember, our audio isn't reliable right now either. So
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
yeah,
guy,
well, I was wondering if there was like some issue there that they couldn't hear him and he couldn't hear them, kind of thing. But
Well, I'm sure they
No, you
heard
heard 'em.
me, and they kind of realized that there were too many footsteps. But I think I just moved so quickly up and over that rock that I didn't really pause enough to give him a chance to move.
They-
Which is
they didn't know
usually
it
how
hit
ends
him.
up. No, he didn't know
They
it.
didn't know it hit him.
Two of them were rocking SVDs. And then there, the shotgun Mosin man,
Yeah.
every Chad's nightmare.
Yep.
yeah, oh, for sure. All right, Beardsyyy, those were the three clips that you shared with us today, man. I want to thank you for sharing those with us. We do have one more clip to take a look at here. It was donated by Shelby KB2, and it's his comment when he shared it was, "This is when I alt F4'd and never came back." So yeah, I think he left Tarkov after this day.
Ooh, we
Now-
almost need a special segment for just those clips.
Oh, for sure. But let's get the clip set up here, and then we'll switch over and we'll take a look at it real quick. Now, the clip itself is taking place on Lighthouse. We all know this area. You're stuck between a wall and the pipes. It's a rough place to be. Also, I want to point out that in this area, there could be people all along that rock line above you. That ridge line above you is crawling with PMCs.
It's a little bit better now.
They put
mines on those rocks.
good.
Real?
Yeah. And like you can still get sniped from up there, but most people, instead of sniping up there now, are sniping and trying to snipe at the shoreline and like camping that, which sucks. But I've definitely gotten hit by a fair amount of thermal gamers lately, which is probably just M1A doing test drive.
Right.
But my buddy, one of my buddies, Grief, tried to get up the rock that you can see here just to the left because there's a nice kind of point. Mine blew up 10 feet from him and killed him.
Oh,
Oh,
Damn it.
wow.
Like he saw
That's
it in
good to
front
know.
of him, and I saw a clip on EFT What the Fuck later, and he was like, "That's exactly what happened to me." And then the old path of going up the rocks to like look over Building 3 and look at the gunner, there's mines there too. So they're forcing you to go down to where he is for the most part, or taking the right side or the left side, I guess.
Okay.
Interesting. That's great to know.
Yep.
Can't say
Be
whether I
careful
like that
on
or
the
not.
rocks.
Like there's
Yeah, I
a
don't-
point of me that says that I like it, but then there's another point that says like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I felt like there was enough mines over there. Like, why
I
you
did
add
too.
more?
I did
let's
too.
take a look at this clip here. He's running that nice new SMG. It's great for CQB, close quarters.
Use that for Punisher Part 5. It's amazing. The
think I'm
pack
on
of 6p47 kills.
Mhm.
Oh, I ran through a 3-man my first raid on using it with on customs. It was so good. It's such a good gun, such a fun little gun.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this out here. We've been tossing around this idea of also throwing in a Chat of the Week clip. I'm gonna need that clip, sir.
I don't know.
Chat of the
if I have
week?
it.
Chat of the week, rage quit of the week, and then the normal stuff.
Yes, of course. Of course. Because you know what? Also, I just want to point out that it's normal when you get killed in this game to sometimes just be like, I don't want to play this game anymore. I hate it. And then you wait like a few hours and you're like, damn it, I want to go in and start doing my task.
I literally watch a video and I'm like, fuck. Like I wake up and I'm like, I don't know if I want to play Tarkov today. I watched 2 videos of people playing and getting a kill and I'm like, yep, that's enough.
Yep.
I want to play. Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look at this clip here.
How he got up there, but he was in them. So you can still get in some of them somehow.
Okay, so I don't think he died to a player. Do you?
No,
Was he
died to a
left of the
rogue.
bush? I thought I saw something to the left of the bush down the pipes.
He got
No?
shot from behind by the rogue on the roof.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
And so, if I can start off on here, at the point that he's at right now, he's in danger. He doesn't know how much danger he's in, but he is in danger right now because directly behind him is a rogue salivating on a fixed gun, just waiting to light him up. And that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, he got too far away from that building without turning around, backing away from the building and popping the rogue in the head before he put too much distance between him and that building behind him. And that's really what cost him. At least I feel like in this case, that's what cost him. Would you guys have played that differently?
No, I mean, without seeing how he got to that point, I would assume, I mean, that you would be backpedaling, looking at that roof. But it kind of just started here, so it's like not sure what he did prior to it, but you would think he would have cleared that, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I don't step anywhere near that if I haven't cleared at least 2 out of 3 buildings for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so what I would have done differently here is I would have pushed into building 3 because no one can see you if you're in the building. You're gonna with that gun, it's tough. It's a tough decision to go there with that because you need range to take out some of the gunners just before they can see you. If you can get up close, obviously that thing's gonna shred. You just need to tap them in the head. That's all that needs to happen, and they're done. So, like, this is great if you're running a sniper as well, like a Mosin or something as backup, just so you can take those long shots and force those close interactions with raiders.
Yep.
Or rogues. And just a main tip, use slow right-hand peeks on them because that's going to be your best bet. And you're going to have the best results if you do that.
So I like that.
One other question real quick, Barb. Is that a gun of choice on this map, though?
No. Most of your fights, at least my fights on Lighthouse, are distance at range.
Yeah.
I'm wanting something that's a rifle caliber, or like an SR-25 MDR or something along those lines. I want the big caliber bullets.
Yep. Same.
I'm assuming he's tasking. He's doing something. He's using it for a reason, maybe.
Or maybe he had a secondary. I mean, we don't know that, right? You know, I mean, he could have had that Mosin.
Right.
He is currently overweight in the clip. So yeah, there's very good possibility that he'd have a secondary gun on him. I agree with what Beardzyyy said though. Instead of running away from building 3, he should have been running towards building 3 to get inside.
And then you can take on some of the corner rogues, which are definitely the ones that shot him. You can take some of those on from a little crack in the door. It's a tough peek, but if you learn it, it makes it a whole lot easier. You don't have to overexpose yourself, get taken out by the 50 cal, get taken out by one of these rogues on the roof. It's just gunning for anybody and everybody. They're just saying, come get it, you know?
Yep.
Like,
Beardzyyy,
all right, sweet.
That peak you're talking about, you're talking about this wall behind him, like peeking the building, or
No,
from inside the building?
From inside the building. It'd be at the back of building 3.
So right here, he could have been leaving building
Gotcha.
3 from getting a task item as well, going to
There's no
path
task items
shoreline.
in building 3.
Right.
Yeah, it's 1
That's
and
the
2,
only reason,
right?
like, it doesn't completely make sense to me. It seems like most likely, in my opinion, what happened is he started getting shot at. Was like, no, this is too much. I don't want to do it. Started going away. They saw him anyways, and you know, it just wasn't. He wasn't putting enough cover in between him and the rogues. He's pretty far away from the wall. In general, you want to stay close to the wall because that wall is going to give you that cover from behind you towards building 2 when you run back across this.
So you pointed out something here that we kind of touch on almost every episode, and that is cover and concealment. And at this point, the building behind him is not cleared. He's out in the open running. He's putting himself in harm's way when he shouldn't have. I agree. Getting closer up to that wall would have made him a less of a target, harder to hit. Yeah, there's a lot of things wrong here. There is one thing right. Let's see if Converse picked up on that, but I don't think he was getting shot at.
He was PK'd. He was PK'd. At least he was PK'd.
At least he was PK'd. I think at that point, when you start to hear the gun going off and you hear the bullets hitting the ground, he knows it's over. Because
that's in front of him, right?
No, that's behind.
No, it's behind him.
Was that building 3 though? I feel like he got killed from building. Okay,
yeah, it's building 3 behind him.
It was definitely an M4, right?
He got shot from building 2.
Building 2, really? That close to the wall?
Yes. It's also possible he could have gotten shot from the... Well, actually, yeah, he did get close to the wall. It might have just been the roof rogue on 3 that he pissed off to get off the gun. Didn't clear it and didn't just peek over to see if he was up towards the edge. And then he got far enough away. Dude came over to the edge and just lit him up.
Oh, and maybe he did back up shoot that rogue on the gun, because he's obviously not using the gun, right? He's using the M4. So maybe he shot him, thought he killed him because he got off the gun, and then just went.
Still getting some of them somehow.
Well, building 3, you can't shoot it from down. Well, yeah, I mean,
Actually, he looked back right there. I didn't realize he did.
Yeah, what did he say though?
He was in them. So you can still get in some of them somehow.
So he's looking back to check to see if the rogue is there.
It might have been building 2.
But that's a weird angle.
Well, if it
had to be.
It had to have been building 3.
I'd love to see like what he got shot with at the death screen. You know what I mean?
I can tell you it's 855 or FMJ.
Okay.
It's 556. I can hear that it was an M4 that was shooting him. Was that
the audio? Yeah, it was M4, and the audio sounded like it was coming from the right, but the wall is covering him on his right.
It would have been back.
The frustration in this clip.
Wait, hold on. I want to hear the. Did he say anything at the end of the frustration?
You hear him alt F4.
It's just like fucking.
You literally wait. Listen to that again.
Man.
You hear it? Fucking click, click. All right. I don't want you to laugh at this man's pain, but that is funny. That is hilarious.
We've all been there.
It's
Yeah.
frustrating.
I did that earlier today.
Right. We went, and I didn't know that they put mines up on those rocks, and I was actually planning later on this week or weekend to go up there and do my sniping.
Be careful.
I am so glad I found out that there's mines there now, because I would cry because I know the map like the back of my hand. I'm gonna run up there in the nighttime with a FLIR and lose my shit. But
guess what? No one can get it.
That's right. Nobody can get it. All right. Does anybody have anything else we want to add about this? Add about this clip here, guys? Anything else we want to touch base on here? Building 3 behind him wasn't cleared at all, and there was clearly a rogue left up that was able to just melt this poor guy.
The only thing I would add is your odds were stacked against you from the get go with the gun you're using, unless you had a secondary. And I feel your frustrations. Don't give up. That's all.
So I'm curious on how he got here then, without getting shot originally.
You can get there. You can get there without getting shot.
Okay, so you should be able to get there without getting shot too, right?
Get out without getting shot? I mean,
Yeah.
he pissed something off behind him.
I just did it a couple times the other day, so I don't understand what happened.
At night?
No, daytime. Yep.
I would like to also point
I ran
out
this exact same wall, and I got around that building and had no issues.
none of the rogues up top saw you.
And there was a still rogue. There were still 2 rogues above us while we were in building 3 looting, and we went down this thing and had no issue.
Well, the top of building 3, you've got one rogue that's typically down by building 2 side, and then you've got that one that kind of sits in that little middle. It's not a hut. It's like an awning up top on the roof there in that little middle section. but it looks like whatever rogue that was just happened to go to the edge of the building, an area that they don't normally run over to, and he started getting lit up from. We saw at the beginning he turned around and looked. At least he checked before he kept running, which is a positive.
Clearly, the rogue did an over him peek.
Well, so the other thing is rogues now are reactive to scavs because scavs spawn in the buildings. So sometimes the rogues will be reacting to a scav, and he could be like, I'm in the clear. I didn't have him react. A scav comes up, that rogue's going to react and can move out. So
and put him in a different position where he was going to be taking fire.
Right.
That's rough.
It's something new that they added this way, that scavs are like in there from the beginning. It's kind of cool because you can hear some of the rooftop rogues when scavs spawn on the roof just absolutely melt them like 20 seconds into raid. But it's you know, it's something that's definitely interesting, and it's made some things easier and some things harder. It's definitely harder to loot on top of building 2 without having like 6 scavs walk up the stairs and go, hey, what's up here?
Right. Well, I completely agree. Guys, we have hit the hour mark. Beardzyyy, do me one last favor, brother. I want you to tell us where we can find you. I put your twitch.tv link in the chat for anybody who is interested in giving this fine gentleman a follow and checking him out when he goes live. And when do you go live next?
Probably like now, a little bit after.
Beardzy's going live now, chat.
Go get him.
Straight back into it, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Actually, we should raid the guest. With,
yeah, I like that idea.
yeah.
All right, so
so you want me to start up? Okay, hold on.
well, yeah. Once we're done here, you start up, and then I'll raid you. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give you 5 minutes after we're done here to get everything set up and going. Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Sounds like a plan. All right.
Thank you guys for having me. I had a blast. It was really fun talking to you, getting your input and everything like that.
Brother, it's an honor to have you in here. Our first guest, by the way, on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our
Cheers
first
to
ever
Beardzyyy,
guest, brother.
Sexy man Beardzyyy.
That's right. That's right. All right, folks. If you want to follow Beardzyyy, twitch.tv/Beardzyyy. That's BeardZzyy. Right below him, we have the sexy Farmer Dylon on Twitch.
Thanks, guys.
Below Farmer, we've got Converts. Converts, thank you for joining us tonight, brother. I hope you're feeling better. The eye does look better, sir.
Yep, we're good now.
It
Good
does.
deal.
Back to hell in the morning. Love it.
Well, you got to pay the bills, sir. You got to pay the bills. We got SoFlo Wiz down there in the bottom left corner. Wiz always rocking out. And my brother from another mother, Mr. Hacktot/. All these gentlemen you can find on Twitch as well. So give them a follow if you're not already following them. Guys, thank you so much for an awesome podcast. And I can't wait till next week. We can do it all over again.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for having
Thanks,
me.
guys. Cheers.
Yeah,
Much love, guys. Much love.
And buena night.
Have a good one, everyone.
Have a great night, everybody. We're going to send everybody over to Beardzyyy once.
Yeah.
We're going to send everybody over to Beardzyyy once we're done. So hang out, chat. I'm going to send you guys over to watch this fucking Giga Chad in action. All right. Take care.
Hell yeah.
All right. See you guys in a little bit.